Hey everyone, Jay here. As always, I'm going to take you through some recommendations for ways in which we might adapt our CrossFit linchpin workouts for kids. We're going to take a closer look at Monday the 3rd of October. We've got 4 rounds for time of 45 single unders, 7 hang squat snatch, 45 double unders, 7 hang squat snatch. Now, we've got some nice elements in here. We've got some skipping. So when we think about how we're going to adapt that, my initial thoughts go to some impact loading, some jumping, some landing. And then we've got a hang squat snatch. We've got that sort of nice dip and then stand, and then we've got the squat. Now, my initial thoughts were we should squat. However, we go through quite a lot of squatting movements with our CrossFit kids. Yes, it is our foundational piece. You know, it's the most important movement that the children are going to learn that leads them on to many other movements. However, what could you do if you were thinking about another option for your kids? So I'm going to give you a couple of options for that. And again, the movements are doubled. We could skip. However, I'm going to give you a couple of options for if the children can't skip, or if you want to mix things up a little. We're going to start off with our advanced kids. As with most of our CrossFit Kids workouts, we're going to be doing an AMRAP for quality. We've got 20 lateral jumps, so jumping sideways over a barrier 20 times. 2-footed jump, 2-footed landing, 2-footed takeoff. And then we're going to have our 10 hang med ball cleans. If your children are just learning this movement, take it to the power position. And don't worry about going below parallel with this movement. Just the dip, jump, and then receive, getting that in place. If they're more confident, they've got a bit more experience, they've had exposure to the movements before, then go into a squat. So the dip, jump, catch in the squat, and then the stand. And then, because I want some nice vestibular work, as we like with all of our CrossFit Kids sessions, wherever that might come, in the warm-up, the skill work, the game, or in fact in the workout, we've got a handstand hold. But also, just because we're going overhead with the snatch, I thought it'd be nice for the children to do some overhead work while also stimulating that vestibular system. So our advanced kids, just to recap, we've got an AMRAP for quality, 20 lateral jumps over a hurdle. Now that could be as high as you can make it while maintaining good quality movement. So making sure those knees are tracking the toes when they land, nice soft landings and control. Or it can be really low and you get nice speedy movements in. 10 hang med ball cleans, that could be to the power if they're a bit less experienced but they're ready to swim exposure, or it could be to the squat. And then 10-second handstand hold. Now for our less experienced children, we're also going to go for an AMRAP for quality. Now, I've got our main part of our workout first here. So where we've got the hang med ball clean sort of sandwich between the lateral jumps and the handstand hold for our more experienced athletes, children, we've got a 5 dip stand. So what we do with our less experienced children, we're just going to expose them to an element of the movement. So that dip and then that extension, that dip and stand. And you're going to see that after the hang dip stand with the med ball clean. And then we've just got that element of that for the less experienced children. They're probably not quite ready for all of the complete movement yet. And then we've got a 5-meter hurdle jump, and this is going to be forwards. The reason I've done this for our younger children, our less experienced children, is I often quite find that they need to move around the gym when they're doing a workout, almost like an obstacle course or like a sort of series of exercises they move through to help them sort of understand and know what comes next. I chose to have the dip stand first because it's the main aspect of our movement. So it's the first thing they're going to focus off each time they sort of come around to a new round. 5-meter hurdle jump and then a 10-second stink bug hold. So we're thinking about our less experienced children and we're getting them into that initial position of being inverted and holding that nice position there. And that can lead on to some nice games as well, understanding that stink bug position. Also then, it translates to our handstand hold, gets a bit of vestibular work in there for our younger children. Now, for our game, as always, we finish every CrossFit Kids session with a game. We've got PVC pipe catch. To be honest, I'm not going to give too much of an explanation now. I'm going to have a video of my children playing this game, and you can see you can play this game with 2 children, 3 children or more, depending on how many children, also how many PVC pipes you actually have. I'm going to have a video showing you the lateral jumps, the med ball clean options, and then in previous videos we've gone through handstand hold or stink bug positions there, so you can take a look back at some of our previous videos for some handstand hold progressions. I'll also have a video showing you the dip stand. Have fun with this workout, guys. Thanks very much. So the first movement for advanced kids is a lateral hop. As you can see, I've set a PVC pipe between 2 kettlebells, but you could set this up much higher if it's appropriate for your children, or lower if needs be. So the first option here we've got for our cleans is just a dip, jump, catch in the squat, and then stand with the ball in front. And you can see from the side here, we're doing a dip, trying to do the dip similar to a push press, keeping the arms straight while they jump. And then keep the ball as close as possible, receive in the squat, and then stand to finish. For those new to the movement or have a bit less experience but are ready for some exposure to this movement, you can use a hang power clean option. So it's just a dip, jump, catch in a quarter squat, and stand. Trying to keep the ball as close as possible. Notice on the dip, that we're trying to keep that dip straight as possible. The jump is straight up, not forwards. And then the receive is sitting the bum back in that quarter squat. And then finally, the last movement for our advanced kids is a 10-second handstand hold. Hands about shoulder width apart, pushing into the ground, keeping the body nice and tight and straight. Less experienced option is going to open up with the segment of a clean. So it's going to be that dip stand. Getting that familiar with just the dip and then the stand. And then once they're ready for more complex movements, you can add that. That's going to be followed by the hurdle jumps. Remember, we like to keep our younger kids moving a bit more from place to place. And then this is the initial option for our handstand progression, that stink bug hold.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And go down.
So for our game, we've got the PVC pipe catching game. It's very self-explanatory from watching the video. If you're playing with 3, you'd set up a triangle. If you're playing with 4, possibly a square. If you're playing with more, you could set up some sort of circular shape. And just on the go, they've got to run and try and catch it. You can make the children be out or give them some sort of movement to complete if they fail to catch the PVC pipe. This is just a demonstration for you. As you can see, though, they really love it and have lots of fun playing this game.
Okay, one more. Ready?